Hi everybody, I'm Akal Sahai with Be the Lighthouse, and today we're talking about the art of feeling incredible. And we're going to talk about this in several different ways and possibly several different levels. One, beginning with how important that is in all regards, not just in the overarching, the overall context of manifesting, like we've been talking about. But of course, as we've been mentioning, the better we feel, the more on track we are with our desires. But it's not really what does that mean? Meaning it can be easy to focus on what is, but what is the product of what was, meaning what we're experiencing now, what we're living now is the product of who and what we were. So we need to focus on where we're going, meaning it literally is a case of eyes on the prize and feeling glorious about that, not focusing on its absence right here, because that just brings us more of what we have right now. And that's where that circles back to the fantastic Joseph Campbell quote, follow your bliss. So that's what I've been doing, and it's an awesome experience. My first video here I was nervous. I had this friend of mine. She had her own channel. She had her own channel. So I asked, hey, I literally wrote her saying, tell me to just do it. And now I get excited about it. I wonder, what should I talk about? What should I talk about tomorrow? What should I talk about today? And there's this idea, and I get excited about it. Meaning, we can create excitement about anything, and in any way, shape, or form, it's about surrendering to the experience. And I've also been talking about that larger, that non-physical part of ourself, that part of ourself that's already in the vortex, and we'll circle back to that. But the even more mind-blowing thing is that we all, each of us in the physical, have this plethora of awesome helper beings, non-physical, whatever you want to call them, angels, but they're out there in the 5D, rooting for us, pulling for us, urging us on, just like that larger non-physical part of us, pulling us into that vortex. And that's what I began experiencing. I've been hinting at this. I didn't understand it. So what I began experiencing was in my mind the sensation of me licking my fingers. And right, and I'm like, okay, what is going on? And I would ask, what does this mean? What is going on? Well, non-physical source, doesn't communicate in words. This because was happening to me literally hundreds of times a day. And okay, obviously this something is going on. This is a message, but what does this mean? Well, but again, that source, that higher version of ourselves, that larger non-physical version of ourselves doesn't communicate in words. So I began following the bliss. I began following that feeling, meaning I understood that was a compass. That when it's like the repeated numbers. I've been seeing a lot of different numbers, and you look up what they mean. It's messages from those same helper beings from our angels. So and often it's a message then to look at what we're feeling, what we're thinking at that moment. So I did the same thing with this thing, with the fingers. Like I said, it was happening hundreds of times a day, and okay, this was what's going on here. So I began honing in on that feeling. What mental space was I in? What was I feeling in that in that moment? And the experience became steady. It literally became that classic leading you by the nose. That source, that non-physical part of us, our helper beings, whatever you want to call it, they again, path of least resistance, whatever method they need to communicate with us. And so I dove into this experience, and it became so mind expanding. Even just thinking about it, it's mind blowing. And your helper beings who all want to do the exact same thing. You know, my spiritual name, my destiny name being Akal Sahai. I started, this has all happened last night. I began talking to myself. I began talking to that non-physical part of myself. I asked, hey, Akal Sahai, and started talking. And so here start coming all of these fantastic ideas that we're going to talk about now. So master the art of feeling incredible with Akal Sahai. So I, of course, am available for one-on-one classes, and that can be audio or video, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I also want to start teaching live classes, meaning group. And I'm not sure. I look forward to seeing how that unfolds, what that looks like. My first thought is to live stream on Facebook, and then just ask for donation. Anyway, you all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Always remember, though, always remember that there is much, much, much love for you. I will see you soon. Sat Nam.